Hello, this is MattiAce, and here's another flying video. This time it's going to be about the Mosquito, but even though I think the Mosquito is still my main ESF, I have been flying the Reaver quite a bit, and also the Sight. I also had a little bit of dogfighting practice and testing, and here I forgot to switch back to flares. Now I know there's a lot of people that actually consider fire suppressing a viable option instead of flares, but even though I'm Terran and I don't have to deal with strikers, I still think that flares is the best utility. Now, for quite a while, I've been staying away from main battles, and I haven't really been focusing all that much on infantry gameplay or base captures or any of that stuff that is actually the metagame of this game. There are quite a number of reasons for that, but right now the main reason is the massive amount of lags that almost all of us are experiencing in bigger battles. And I know that there's a lot of people that suffer from this. I'm not saying that I suffer more from it than any other person, but we all play for different reasons. We all find different things enjoyable. And me, I do not enjoy lags whatsoever. If a game cannot be run at proper frame rates, I would much rather uninstall the game than to try to force myself to enjoy playing with like 40 or 50 frames per second. Now, luckily, I also do enjoy flying. And when you are in an ESF, you can from time to time kind of pick your battles, and if a place is too laggy, I just tend to move away from there and stay away from those battles. Now, one of the things that I've seen from a lot of pilots is that it's quite popular to fly as as light assault. I'm sure there are different reasons for that. Most people probably do it for the same reason as a tanker would jump out of the tank when it's about to go down, and that is to jump out and survive. Now, one of the things about flying as light assault is that you can get yourself in to the battles where your opponents will not expect you. But I haven't really used this tactic yet, and the reason for that is, as I said earlier, that it is too laggy for me to enjoy infantry gameplay. But I'm trying to level up my light assault. I'm trying to learn how to handle the jump jets, or maybe I'll switch over to drifter jets, which in many situations are probably a lot better. And most of the times when I try to bail out as a light assault, I've died anyway because my jetpacks are not upgraded enough and I don't have enough thrust. Another thing that I've been a little bit torn about lately is whether or not I would be using the rocket pods or if I should go with the external afterburners. And even though I'm using rocket pods here, most of the times nowadays when I fly, I use the external afterburners because even though I get more kills with the rocket pods on infantry players, I just don't enjoy it particularly much anymore. I think it's kind of boring, and I would much rather see that flying actually had a purpose in this game. But the thing about rocket pods is that they are fantastic in battles where your team has already won and you are just farming. Now, when it comes to the lag issues, I know that this has been brought up before, and I know a lot of people have pointed it out. I have a i7 2600K. I've clocked it to 4.2 gigahertz and a 660 NVIDIA graphics card, and I cannot run this game, and that is not acceptable in any way. Now, there are a few players that will argue the fact that it's okay to play with 40 or 50 frames per second. I don't know why people would say that. It is not okay in any situation, in any game that you play in first-person shooter mode, to play with less than 60 frames per second in any situation. Now, this does not mean that 60 frames per second is a magical number that will always give you a perfect experience. Many people will want to have more, and it's a little bit different from game to game. Now, I know that my computer is not like the top-end computer for gaming in any way, but I play this game on settings that are medium or low, and this should not be an issue. Now, we've seen these massive frame rate drops happening before. Normally this has been when we are right after a game update, but in most situations this has been resolved by SWE in 1 or 2 weeks after the main update. I really don't know why that is not the case this time. So I hope this will be resolved as soon as possible. And there's a couple of more minutes left of mostly air-to-air, but also some air-to-ground high-skill rocket podding, so I hope you will enjoy it, and bye for now.
Enemy medic spotted. Incoming enemy aircraft.
Generator destroyed.